All right, so there is the ear that we're making for the ghost dog. Now we just have to give it the bendies. Okay, there is ear number 2. So that's where the ears go on. All right, we're going to do the actual head right now. So we're going to work on that. And then once we get the head done, we'll make the body and then we'll assemble it. And it'll be an amazing, amazing thing. All right, here we go. Okay, we just have to get the shaping right. I probably used too short a rod, but I'm just going to suck it up. I'll deal with it. When you get this close, it does get a little warm. Okay, and then we'll separate this part right here. Gonna add a little bit of bulk to the back here. It's not quite big enough that I'm comfortable. That's better. And all right, we're good. So this is the beginning of the shape. You can see it starting to form down here. Then we got to flatten it a little bit so we can make the area for the mouth. So we just give it a little bit of a flat spot right there. Set that there. We're going to create the mouth. Then we're going to put it together. And here we go. Well, shoot. That didn't work out. Got to redo it. I got way too aggressive and flattened it right onto it. You need to leave a gap. So we'll fix it. Glass is very forgiving. That one I got a little too aggressive with right there. All right, we'll try that again without the fail this time. Yeah, we do have the wolf. If you guys want to see the wolf, I'll bring that out while we're making the ghost dog. We'll bring it a... This I like because I don't like adding a lot of color to the actual animals. If I can help it. Hopefully this one comes out without a fail. Okay, got it. All right, let's fuse it together. Got to make sure that blend is really nice. Doesn't look all janky. All right, we're looking good. So yeah, the wolf has a really nice base to it as far as when you carve into the glass, you don't have to use color. You can actually get layers in there and create texture and give it that three-dimensional look. All right, let's put some eyeballs on and the ears and the nose, and then we'll move over to making the body. All right, let's put some ears on. Oops, crap. Here we go. All right, we got ear number 1 going on. And now we'll put second one on. Ever burned myself? I've gotten tiny little burns. I don't have one of those really cool stories where I got burned really bad. I just don't. Like, I know a lot of people have gotten some serious burns. I just don't have one of those. I'm gonna make sure this is super attached because we're gonna need this. I'm gonna have this to hold on to it when I attach the body to the head. All right, let's burn this off and put the little pumpkin nose on there. Uh-oh. Got a little bit of orange. All right, so there we got the head going. I am going to put a little Lucy on the very tip of this. We'll see if it shows up. Won't be very visible. Give it a little tiny marker. All right, so we're going to park that in the kiln and we'll make the body. The body is the trippiest part. The body is done totally oddball. And make sure I got enough for the body here. Find the thickest one I have. Here we go. All right, here we go. So we're going to make the body. Oh, I need one more thing before we go there. All right, let's rock it. And there we go. I am dyslexic. I'm 1,000% dyslexic. All right, so we're making the body to the ghost dog. This part's a total trip. When I first started thinking about how to do it, there were several different ways, and I couldn't figure out which way I wanted to try it. And I went to sleep and I woke up and I had this idea for it. Because there's more than one way to form these things, but I try to look at the most efficient one possible. Okay, then we got to make a little wide disc here. Lots and lots and lots of glass. And here we go. A lot more. Thing is, I'm trying to build up enough so that we have an entire, like, the bed skirt sheet of the dog. Need a lot of glass. I don't want to make this super thin. Then it becomes extremely fragile. Okay, I'm going to attach a second rod here just to kind of use it all up. Technically not the way you're supposed to do this, but it works. This is year number 31. Yeah, Lucy was the name. The reason it was named Lucy is Lucille Ball. Red. That's why it was named that color. You came across from doom scrolling? That's awesome. All right, we're almost there. We should have enough here in just a minute. A little bit more, a little bit more. All right, so we get this kind of cone shape. And that's how it starts out. Now we're going to be using a couple different tools with here, very basic items, nothing overcomplicated. We're going to use a regular pair of needle nose pliers and some cutting shears to make the body. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to flatten it. We're going to use the needle nose pliers and go around it and create the skirt. No, this is solid work. No air pressure needed. After this, we'll do some blown glass ornaments. Maybe. So there we are. We got kind of like this little weird looking thing, right? All right, let's create the skirt for it. So there we are. We created that kind of indented stuff all the way around. So now we have a skirt. First thing I have to do is create the front legs, the paw, basically the paws up there. And in order to do that, we're going to take some scissors and we're going to cut across. Like that. So now we just cut it with the scissors like that. Next step, we're going to start extending those legs out. Attach here. Like that. I always think this thing looks like the Millennium Falcon. I say it every time, but doesn't that look like the Millennium Falcon now? I should totally make one of those. All right, so we got the front part done, like that. No, this actually has to go to an order. That's why I said if we get enough likes, I'll make a second one and we'll do it in purple. But this is actually has to go to an order. I forgot I actually had one on order. I had one completed, but I dropped it and broke it, so I get to remake it now. And here we go. So we're going to pull the tail. Separate it. And there we have the body all set now. Now we just have to put the collar on and attach the head. And it will be good to go. I have to use one specific red for this. That one. And this is for the collar. So now the collar will come in red later, but right now it's just kind of in its transparent form. And here we go. Oh well. But that collar will come in